Kia ora everyone, today is Monday, the 16th week in Ordinary Time. My name is Felicity and I serve on the Auckland Catholic Youth and Young Adult Ministry team for the Diocese. A reading from the Gospel according to Matthew. Then some of the scribes and Pharisees said to him, "Teacher, we wish to see a sign from you." But he answered them, "An evil and adulterous generation asks for a sign, but no sign will be given to it except the sign of the prophet Jonah. For just as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the sea monster, so for 3 days and 3 nights the Son of Man will be in the heart of the earth. The people of Nineveh will rise up at the judgment with this generation and condemn it, because they repented at the proclamation of Jonah. And see, something greater than Jonah is here. The Queen of the South will rise up at the judgment with this generation and condemn it, because she came from the ends of the earth to listen to the wisdom of Solomon. And see, something greater than Solomon is here." The Gospel of the Lord. So in today's Gospel reading, we find Jesus talking to some scribes and Pharisees. In the verses just preceding this, Jesus performed an exorcism, a pretty extraordinary sign, right? Well, ironically not according to the Pharisees, because immediately after this, they asked to see a sign from him. We're reminded of the temptation story back in chapter 4, where Satan asks Jesus to prove that he really is the Son of God by asking him to do things like turn stones into bread, or to throw himself off the high point of one of the temples. But Jesus refused to prove himself in this way. There's an explicit point of comparison between Jonah's time spent in the belly of the sea monster, which foreshadows Jesus' brief time in the realm of the dead, or the heart of the earth. The important point here is the divine deliverance of each of them, Jonah being freed from the sea monster and Christ's resurrection, the most significant sign. So Jesus responds to the request for a sign pretty unapologetically, commenting on the Pharisees' fundamental lack of faith in the living God. The demand for a sign consists of unwillingness to believe that God is present and active in Jesus' ministry. And later in the passage, Jesus says that there is something greater than Jonah and something greater than Solomon here. And he doesn't explicitly say that the something greater is him, the Messiah, but that's implicitly what he means. Again, he doesn't outrightly say who he is, but more importantly, his actions and his words all allude to the fact that he truly is the Son of God. To reflect, I think that this passage really challenges us to look within ourselves. We all have a kind of internal dualism. Inside each Christian is a disciple and a Pharisee at times. And how many times have we doubted God, even though we know that he's been there for us in the past? Sometimes it can be hard to trust that he really will pull through for us, and I think that that's okay. We are allowed to ask God for reassurance. But we also need to learn to trust. We know that Christ died on the cross for us, and we know that he was resurrected. And so also we know that he is always faithful. I would just encourage you to reflect on the following questions. When have you struggled to trust in God, and why? Maybe people in your life have let you down in the past. Remember times when you have felt God present in your life, whether in small ways or in big ways. And lastly, ask God for the faith to trust in him, and know that it's okay to have questions.